All right, all right, all right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. Let me see if I can bring in Edward up in here with me. Invite, conform. I hope everybody's doing well. Ishmael Diaz here, your great wit. Just want to see how everybody's doing. Gonna be accompanied today by Edward Saw. Lissa Love is gonna join us today, hopefully, and she'll make it. She's running a little late, but she's doing good. Thank you, sweetheart. My baby's here with me. That's my girlfriend, Kay Escobar. Welcome and thank you for joining. So it's Sunday, the weekend's over. A lot has happened, a lot's still happening. But life goes on, okay? With everything that's happening, life still go on. And you must always keep going. All right, there, hold on. See, I can bring you up here. You there? A second. There you
Hey,
go. All right,
hi
y'all.
guys.
So everybody, I hope this weekend has treated y'all good. I hope y'all stay hydrated and cool because I know this weekend was brutal. And if y'all got a lot of water, I hope y'all got everything fixed because I know we also had a lot of rain, storms, and a whole bunch of bad stuff going. So everybody, welcome. Ishmael Diaz here, your great witch, accompanied by Edward Salt today. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about magic and beautiful things. We can get going with this. So Edward, you want to go ahead?
All right. Well, today me and Ish were talking. We decided we'll talk a little bit about circle casting. It's one of the things that we've been asked about before, and the purpose of circles and everything. Well, oftentimes in the craft, we use circles as a way of separating ourselves from the mundane plane to the spiritual plane. Now, to cast a circle, it's normally done in a clockwise direction, except for when you're working with banishing spells or negative energy. Then you do it in a counterclockwise, otherwise known as Widdershин. In the clockwise, it's known as Jessel. It's spelled Deocil, but it's pronounced Jessel.
Oh,
Now, when we cast, in my tradition, we cast from the north, and we start off in the north quarter. And we proceed around the north quarter all the way back to the north and casting our circle.
welcome, Ray.
And other traditions will start from the east because they go by the sun. In my tradition, we go by the north because we go by what's known as the Witch's Pyramid. So casting the circle, in the north quarter and you work your way around to the back to the area, and that sets up your initial circle. And that's called open. That's called closing the circle. Okay. Now, the reason we want to do that is we want to separate ourselves, like it's up in the mundane plane when working magic. The next thing you do when working a circle is you then evoke the elements. Now, there's a difference between evocation and invocation, folks, and this is something I want to clear up. Because you'll hear people say, I want to invoke the element. Invoke means bring in internally into yourself. And you do not want to do that with elements. Because you're made up of the five elements: earth, air, fire, and water, and spirit. And if you invoke an element, you're actually,
Thank you.
like if you invoke the north, you're invoking the earth element. You're going to end up crushing yourself under gravity. Okay, you invoke the air element, you'll suffocate yourself. You invoke the fire element, spontaneous combustion may occur. And you invoke the water element, well, you're 90% water. So if you want to drown your own fluids, feel free.
Mm.
Basically, you evoke the elements. Now, in evocation to the elements, we are represented by several different things. Each of the elements has a particular quarter they sit in. North being the earth, okay? East being the air, south being the fire, and west being the water.
Thank you all for joining.
Now, once you do your evocations, and they're normally represented sometimes in spirit form as the north you have the gnome.
Which is only asked, but when we invite invite them when
Yes, invite
casting.
them you're basically inviting them to attend your ritual. when casting a circle to attend and lend their energy. Now, um, the air is normally represented by the sylph. The fire is represented by the salamander, and the water is represented by the merfolk or nereid. Okay? Yeah, you're not invoking. No, you're evoking.
Evoke. Evoke.
Like I said, you want to evoke them, which means external, asking them to lend their energy. Now, you can invoke a god and goddess, but there is a specific methodology
We're evoking, not invoking.
in invoking the god and goddess. Though you can invoke the god and goddess, but you have to be first of all familiar with the deity itself that you're invoking. Okay, to the point where you have a direct connection with that deity. Okay, it's preferable to evoke even the deities, asking them to lend their energy to it than invoking. Because we have in the ritual we have a methodology called drawing down the sun and moon. Okay, when you draw down the sun, that's that's preparing the body to actually attend an invocation to the god, to attend the god, because our bodies are impure.
Yes.
Okay, and you don't want something as pure as a deity, becoming inside of you, when you're not prepared. So we do a drawing down the sun, and drawing down the moon is invoking the goddess, for the high priestess. Now we normally represent two specific things in craft at all times. It's a balance of negative, masculine and feminine, or negative and positive energy. And that balance is very important in the craft. When doing a ritual, we often make sure that we have a male, female, male, female, male, female around the circle at all times, because this way you have a constant balance of energy. Like inside the circle, you have a male, female in the form of high priest and high priestess. Now you can have a male, male if the male is evoke is external, is what it means. Evoking the energy to be externally. That's what it means. Okay? And then invoking is internal, bringing it into yourself. Okay, that's the difference between the two. Okay, the cardinal quarters, not corners. I have to clarify that. They're not corners, they're quarters. Okay? The quarters are the position of the elements, north, south, east, and west by thing, and the cardinals are in those four places. The secondary quarters are northeast, southeast, northwest, and southwest. They're known as the watchtowers, yes, Gray. They're also known as watchtowers, yes.
Yes.
What energy, masculine, feminine, and unknown? Okay, let me answer that first of all. You have the north, which is a feminine energy. Okay. You have the east, which is masculine. The south which is masculine, and the west, which is feminine. Okay. And if you think about why they would be masculine and feminine, you look at the way they move. Earth and water are very passive in their emotions. Okay, which is more the female. Okay. Aspect of the passive side. You have the male side, which is the masculine, which is the active ingredients, and that's the air, which is the learning and knowledge, and the fire, which is the will. Each of those elements actually teach us individual things. Okay? The element of the north teaching, of course, is that of silence. It teaches us to be silent, or to go into the silence. Okay, and when you're in the silence, it means being able to go inside yourself and learn from what's within and connecting with the inner self. Okay, the air teaches us to know. And the reason air teaches us to know, and that element teaches knowledge, is because of the fact that all five senses, earth, uh, taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing, are all in the air. They're all carried by the air. So, being that they're carried by the air, and we use those senses to assimilate knowledge into ourselves, that's why the air is to teach to know. And the elements being feminine and masculine, they do have a feminine and masculine point. Like I said, the south water, south is east air, south water. No, west water is feminine. Okay, let me go through it. South is fire, which is masculine. Air and fire are masculine. Earth and water are feminine. Okay, now if we go to the south, you're talking about the will. That's what it teaches, the will. And if you look at the way fire moves, it moves in a very active and aggressive manner. Very active and aggressive. It destroys everything in its path and turns everything to ash for transformation. Okay, and then you have water, which is to dare. Water teaches us to dare, and the reason water teaches us to dare is if you look at how water moves, right? Water moves in such a fashion it goes over, under, or takes shape of the item it's in. Okay, so how and where you know this from? 50 witches, I've known this from 56 years, or 50 years rather, of Alexandrian Wiccan training. I'm a 50-year plus Alexandrian Wiccan high priest, and I've been doing this a long time. And the books do not have anymore the witches pyramid or the teachings of the elements in them. I haven't seen them anywhere in the books nowadays, and this is why I'm trying to bring this back into light, because this is stuff that's missing in modern craft that needs to be addressed. When doing a circle, you have to look at those energies very carefully, because when you're working circle and working magic, each of those magic has a particular level of energy. And within that circle and within that movement, very good, Maeve, you're right. Within that magic working, your energy has to be balanced, like I said, for the creation of things. So the elements teachings are very important to know what they mean and what they say to you. Okay, because that has a lot of perspective into your magical working. To know, to will, to dare, to be silent. You have to know.
It's not just a sign, y'all. There's more to it.
What's that?
It's not just a sign that people can just draw. There's more to those elements.
Yep. Now, and toss the elements under teaching is the key to magic, yes. Because there are 5 elements of what make up us. We are the elements, we're a part of it. We're a part of the magical working. Now, once you get when you get done with calling your elements or calling the quarters, spirit isn't a pinnacle. Yes, spirit is the top element, and that is to evolve is its teaching, and that is the goal of the spirit is evolution. Okay, and the spirit is a neutral or gender neutral thing because it's neither masculine nor feminine. Mm-hmm. The spirit just is. It has no gender. Okay. It's a blending of both. Okay. In the pentacle, if you look at a pentacle, you're looking at the top. The top is spirit. Earth comes up. Earth is the first point. Air is the second point. Fire is the third, and water is the fourth point as you're going around. Okay, on the pentacle. And pentagram, same thing. But in a circle, you only have the four quarters or the four centers. You're the center. The cardinal directions are you're the center or the evolution. You're the spirit. So that's where the high priest and high priestess are joined.
This person's got to go out of here.
Not necessarily, Richards. You're not been doing it wrong. There is no wrong way, but there is the way that I learned and the way I'm teaching to you is simply so you have an understanding how ritual works.
And real quick, everybody that has joined, welcome. God damn it, welcome. Ismael Diaz here, you great witch, accompanied by Edward South today, who's just here to drop a little bit of knowledge on his end, which you always hear me speak.
And like you always learn something new.
Exactly. You always learn something new.
Okay, now once you have called the elements in your circle, and you've evoked the god and goddess,
Thank you.
now comes the next step. And that is raising the energy, or what's known as raising a cone of power. Okay? So this is where the purpose of your ritual comes into play and actually moving. This is your motor. Okay? This is what starts the motor. The circle is your motor, and this is the energy is your gasoline and the fire. Okay? And that sort of thing, we raise a cone of power and then you release it. Okay, raising a cone of power means you take the energies that are used in your ritual and you build it. The high priest and high priestess then turns around and takes all that energy in, where the maiden and squire in a circle, in a coven group, there's a maiden and squire. They in a circle are filters for that energy. They have a very specific purpose, and that is to filter the energy up. So that there's no misguided energies to actually workings, so everything is in play when the cone of power is raised and released. After a cone of power is raised and released, that's when your magic actually starts working. It's being sent out. Okay? Now, once that happens and you send out the energy, that takes a lot of work. The next thing in ritual and in circle casting is known as the communion part. Okay? And the communion is where you actually share the cake and ale in a ritual. And that is done for the purpose of restoring the energy to the individual. And it's normally done with a statement saying, may you never hunger and may you never thirst. Okay? It's what you say to each other while sharing the ritual cake and ale. And that's done to, like I said, restore the energy that you've extended outwards and expanded outwards. Then, of course, once the ritual is over and everybody is done with the ritual, right, the next thing is the closing of or opening of the circle. Okay? Opening of the circle, you do that in reverse. You do that Widdershun. Okay? Where you go from in my tradition, it's north back to the north in reverse. Okay? You release the god and goddess first, then you release the elements in reverse. Now, releasing the elements, right? There is a certain misconception and a misstatement made in releasing the elements. That's something I got to discuss with you all because of the fact that I've heard it frequently and it's troublesome. Okay? You do not release the elements by sitting there saying, stay if you will, go if you must. Because those elements will stay. You know, they will actually stay. I've had it happen where literally a barn burned down, which was our temple, because someone said that. And then later we put them in the air element, and they released the air element by saying, "Stay will go if you must." And the tornado, and we're in the middle of tornado at the time, tornado crashed down on the new temple. So, no, it's the best thing to say is, "Thank you for lending your energy to this, our magic right. Go in peace and go in power."
Like that.
Respect them, of course, for, like I said, in thanks for lending their energy. But go in peace and go in power tells them that, you appreciate the energy they lent you and the learning they've given you. Now they can, depart on their own free will until they're needed again. Yeah, but exactly, Maeve. Go in peace now, go in power. It's the correct way. I've seen it in books though, that many a book is, including Raymond Buckland's Big Blue Book, has said, unfortunately said, "Go if you stay, if you will, go if you must." It was also said in a couple of Silver Ravenwolf's books, which unfortunately are mistaken. Like I said, you want to dismiss the elements after you dismiss the god and gods. Then you open the circle. And there's normally a chant used in the circle opening. "The circle is open, not unbroken. May the peace of the goddess ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part to a merry meet again." Okay, it's a chant that's used frequently in circle casting. So that's basically the premise behind working a circle. Now, do you have to have a circle for all magic?
On that which is only, no, you have choices.
No. All witches or in part should be Wiccan? No.
You have
See,
choices.
Wicca was formed in 1950s, or actually 1930s, by Gerald Gardner. And it was done as a way of allowing people to have a way of relating the craft to themselves in a structured format. Okay? And he did it, he had the right idea, because most Wiccans and witches and pagans all come from Catholic or Protestant or religious backgrounds, so we're used to structure. And allowing a structure to be there affords us the opportunity to actually work within we're all used to structure. We have laws and everything that give us structure, that are applied by structure. So we're used to it. So having a structure to work with, a basic structure, helps work the magics to where you have something, a format to use. And Wicca was that format, basically. Okay? It gave us a format. But casting a circle and doing it is not necessarily needed for all things. Like, you don't need to... The idea behind casting a circle, like I said, and working a circle, is basically to separate yourself from the mundane plane. If you have a spiritual place you can go, though, where you are separated from the mundane, right? There's no need to cast a circle. The circle's already there. If you have a spiritual place within your mind, or a center place in your mind, you can have your circle there. You have your spiritual temple. So, if you're giving an offering, you don't have to open or close a circle, no. It does depend on what you're doing. Circles are, like anything else in the craft, a tool. They're part of a recognition tool. They're symbolic. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to cast a circle, but a lot of us do it to separate ourselves from the mundane world when we're working magics. And that's why we wanted to go over a little bit of circle casting with you all, to explain what the actual purpose of a circle is. Now, the next thing is, another question we've had, unless you all have other questions to ask about this, particularly. Another question we've been hit with it quite frequently actually, is about gods and goddesses. How do you recognize which one is the right one for you? How do you relate to your god and goddess? I get those questions all the time. First of all, let's define what a god or goddess is. A god and goddess is an archetypal principle. Okay? They are representations of the male and female archetype that you see and you wish to emulate or become like. Okay? Now, when you have a god, when you are trying to find out, well, what god and goddess do I relate to? Right? Ask yourself, first of all, because we all borrow from various different cultures. What culture you most commonly familiarize yourself with? First of all. That's the first question you need to ask yourself. What culture am I comfortable with? Whether it be Celtic, Greek, Roman, Asatru, or Norse.
You got choices.
Or ancient Phoenician, Babylonian, Egyptian. You know, there are so many cultures that have various gods and goddesses. So the first, even Aztec, Mesoamerican, Ifa, and African traditions. Right? So what culture the most resonates with you as a person? The next thing you want to do is research that culture. See if that culture is right for you. Understand fully what that culture's evolving was from its early times up until current. So one thing in the craft you'll always learn is do your homework.
Or do your research.
Like, I know, for example, and Ish, I'm going to use you as an example. Okay? Your background is, of course, Puerto Rican, which is Mesoamerican in its aspect. Right? So, within your own cultural balance and everything, you know, you can relate to the Mesoamerican traditions very easily because of the fact that you are Mesoamerican by birth and birthright.
And it comes easily and naturally.
And it would come naturally to you to relate to the Mesoamerican culture. However, your personal culture, I do know, is more Phoenician Babylonian,
Very much.
the one that you resonate to mostly, because of Lilith being your matron. So determining what your matron and patron are going to be don't necessarily mean what culture you're born into. It means what you relate to strongly. Like myself, I'm French, Irish, English, and Polish by birth and heritage, which means basically, and by the Alexandrian tradition, Alexandrians normally use Gaelic gods and goddesses. However, I don't resonate much. I can work with the Gaelic gods and goddesses, such as Cernunnos and Ceridwen.
She is kind. Thank you.
I can work with them well. However, I resonate to a Norse god and goddess as my personal matron and patron deity. And that's Freya and Tyr. Because what resonates with me from them, for example, on that level, is Tyr is a god of spiritual warfare. And I'm one that fights for the spiritual rights of everybody. And Freya is a goddess of wisdom and knowledge. And thus I try to emulate that same thing of having, providing knowledge and being wise in my judgment and wise in my workings. So when you're looking at your gods and goddesses, look for what resonates with you most. And sometimes you won't find that god and goddess for a while.
Yeah.
Your personal god and goddess, you might not find them for a while. They will come to you.
That right there.
But, for a while you're going to be exploring. And the reason being is, like I said, they are archetypal principles. They're what you want to resonate yourself with, what you want to become alike. I mean, if you want to emulate love and compassion, you want to look at love gods and goddesses such as Aphrodite or Venus.
Those are good ones on love.
Right? Even Lilith.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want war, you might, if you're a warrior type person, you might resonate toward the Morrigan.
Real quick, which is only asked, can I have separate offering plates on my altar for different deities?
Oh, I missed.
I got you.
Sorry, they didn't scroll on me. Okay, only have separate altars for deities. Okay, yes, you can have separate altars for different deities. I mean, and you can work with various different deities.
And Maneva, I have a question. I did a bibliomancy. Apollo signed it. The last word pulled was Apollo.
Well, obviously, then you have a lesson to be learned from Apollo, which is the god of music and a god of wisdom. So maybe he's trying to teach you creativity, wisdom with your creativity, wisdom with your workings. And sometimes those gods and goddesses come to you for various purposes, various teachings.
Again, they'll come to you by surprise, but they do come to you.
And with Celtic blood, like I said, there's several Celtic gods and goddesses. But the best thing I can tell everybody, when working with the deities, do your homework.
Do your research.
Study the mythologies of each culture. Learn their mythologies, understand them. Yes, you can have multiple offering plates on one altar, yes. See, your altar is like anything else, is a tool. It's a symbolic representation of the macrocosm and microcosm of the universe. So you can put your altar does not have to be specific to anything.
Really?
It can be specific to what you are trying to do. And believe me, the gods and goddesses don't take offense easily.
And here's something I'm gonna add on this altar thing. If you technically want to look at it, it's not just a piece of something you have in front of you that you practice your magic with the proper tools. Your house is actually your altar also.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
You put your little crinkets and little things on the corner every time you go to the bathroom or you see a buto or something, you want to put something there. Yeah, your whole house is your altar also. Put that in mind.
Yep, your house is your altar, your physical altar is your altar. Because it's all symbolic representations of where you want to be and your spiritual home or placing. We don't have a building in the craft. We don't have a building. Okay, we don't go to a church and worship in a church. Nature is our church.
Exactly. Step outside barefooted.
Okay.
And yes, talk back to those trees, goddammit. You're not going crazy. They really talking to you.
And it is an extension of yourself. It is an extension of yourself, an extension of your will, like everything else. So that's the key. So you make your home your altar, you make your home your location and everything else. And learn, and make it a part of you.
Remember that the energy flow you flow with your altars is also been flowing with your house before you even erected your altar.
Hmm. And even your house becoming your altar, your temple, or your place of worship is what it, it's a part of you. And talking to trees, yes, they listen too, by the way.
Not wrong talking to a mango tree. It could probably be a sweet one and give you some fruit, you know?
And sometimes you don't have anything physical, but you practice on it on the spiritual plane.
Exactly.
And that's the thing too. You can bibliomancy cards, but you don't. And even those are physical representations, though. If you really look at it, you can find things. Liminal space, exactly. So, and this leads us also to manifestation points too, because manifestation is the building of. Once you take that energy, you're actually building and moving that energy to make things happen and make things work, and that's the manifestation side of magic. But there's a key to manifestation that's very important: removal of the ego.
Yeah, get that shit out.
Okay, when you're manifesting, you have to look at what your needs are versus what are your wants.
Yep.
Okay, so let's define what our needs are. Okay, our needs are food, shelter, and clothing, right? Those are the human needs, basic human needs. That makes everything else a want. Once you have put that in the proper perspective, you're able to make your wants occur at random intervals because you have acceptance of the needs being met on a regular basis. And that's how manifestation works. It works under that premise. Okay, but you have to have your perspective correct on things to manifest things.
I got something to share on manifesting. There is a visible but knowable life force within you. Right? Keep your thoughts and no, keep thoughts. No, your thoughts are it's blurry. Your thoughts are something that you control and they originate within you. There are no limits to other and those places upon yourself. Your life has purpose. You overcome weakness by leaving them behind. When you examine you believe in the impossible. You can change and no, you can be the change in your life. And last one is some most of us can go beyond logic.
Mm-hmm. You are changing your own life, and you have to work your life in accordance to what you want,
Mm-hmm.
and recognize your wants versus your needs. Like I said, that's the key aspect of it. What are your wants versus what are your needs? And once you have that perspective in play, the wants come in the form of manifestations like you won't believe.
And remember, like you said earlier, try to put your ego to the side. Like we spoke last week, I'll repeat it again. The ego says me. No, the ego says
Me,
me, and the soul says we.
me.
So when you think about you're just leaving out everybody else around in your world to benefit what you have to offer. And so forth with the other ones that are doing it to you. Don't need that collision. In fact, you don't even need that extra added weight on your shoulders.
Actually, uh, is it hard on Mavina to work only in liminal space? No. I don't think she probably finds it hard either.
No.
Because you can work in the liminal side of things as well. Physical space and physical representation symbolism is actually just something we associate easily with as individuals. Okay? For example, I'll give you a symbol right now. Two golden arches. What's the first thing that crosses your mind when I say two golden arches?
Gate. Entrance. Yes.
Ugly food.
That's funny.
Yeah. McDonald's is
Exactly.
what everybody associates with two golden arches, right? That's a symbol that we have an automatic assumption and association with. Now, the thing is, when you associate it with, automatically it creates a physical response to it, to the stimulation.
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
and thus you start salivating because you're tasting their good French fries, but lousy hamburgers.
Mm,
But thing about it creates a stimulus response in the body when we associate symbols, and everything we use is symbolic. In the liminal plane, right? You actually build your own symbols inside your mind's eye, and those symbols still work for you. The words and everything, like you were like maybe you use bibliomancy, like you said, and bibliomancy is words and books. Opening up a book and to be able to flip through a book, and all of a sudden a message comes to you clearly from that
almost like scrying.
text, and the text opens up things. But even that text, right, is a symbol. Is a symbolic representation. It gives you
Mm-hmm.
that connection to something symbolic. And spirit will give us signs and symbols too, yes.
They will. Yes, they will.
So if you think of it as all our tools are symbolic in nature, they're used strictly as, like I said, symbols. And symbols are how we associate things with. So it's archetypes. Again, archetypal principle. Our gods and goddesses are symbols too.
They are.
So, like I said, we can build symbols. The sounds can be symbols. For example, the Native Americans associate two sounds with certain parts of the macro universe. Okay, the drum is known as the heartbeat of the earth. And if you listen to the drum with your eyes closed, because your eyes will deceive you if you're tapping on something, because you're following the hand movements and you're not following the sound. But if you close your eyes and listen to the sound of a drum, the sound penetrates you linearly into the chest, into the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it pulses. A drum has a pulsing beat sound to it, right? The Native Americans also use the rattle, or sistrum in the case of the Egyptians, which is a form of a rattle. Okay, a sistrum and a rattle, the sound from a sistrum rotates in a spiraling fashion from the head to the toes, basically. And the rattle is known as the voice or the breath of the earth in Native American culture, as well as in Egyptian and other cultures. So when we listen to sound can play an important role in the frequencies also, because
Frequencies, yes.
frequencies and sound with music, and music is a hellaciously powerful tool. We use chants and music in the craft frequently, and music is very potent because it connects you for many things. Memories, right? And things like that all come from music. I mean, if you listen to a song you may have heard as a childhood, it'll bring up a childhood memory of some sort, be it a happy one or a sad one,
It'll
right?
elevate your senses and you start feeling things.
It starts building your feelings, yes, and starts bringing your feelings out. And I don't know how many times I've listened to music and cried, or listened to music and laughed, or listened to
Hmm.
music and
Or just think.
had a same
Music
with
have
film.
a music has a good way of encouraging you to do better, just because of the frequency.
Hmm. And you have smells that also will evoke memories or invoke things. Certain smells, like you walk past a house and someone's cooking bacon and eggs, say, and you had a good childhood memory of growing up, with having a breakfast in the morning, and you start smelling that bacon, eggs, and maybe some tea or orange juice or something, and you suddenly brings you back.
Next thing you know, you're looking around like, "Damn, where's mom?" Shit, it
Yeah,
smells good, man.
it'll bring your ass back to something. You
Hmm.
smell a cigar and you think, there you go, smell roses, grandma's garden and hand lotion.
Exactly. That perfume that never died is still probably in your nostrils somewhere from the 30s.
So all of our senses have that type of symbology to them. Touches even the same way. Even with touch, you can feel energies with touch.
Yes,
Many of us are clairsentient,
many of us.
which means we have all the clairsenses. We can feel that. Sometimes you can feel the energy of something. Something don't feel right
You
when you
already know.
touch it, or something feels comfortable or at home. A certain stone may feel feel different to you than another stone. It might invoke a feeling. The clair is right. Um, Taste, likewise, another sense that brings a lot of things back to memory.
Hmm. Sound.
Sound, taste, touch, smell, sight.
Certain feels, even certain things you look at just may give you something.
Exactly. Every one of them give us a sense of knowing or awareness, and that's the thing about the senses, and that's the thing about the elements, because they also teach us. The air teaches us to know. Excuse me. And the air teaches us to know and how and teach because it holds those five senses in there. So that's why when you're working with the senses, you're working with the elements, you're working with things. This is why the importance of the elements in the craft, because it reminds you of those things, and the importance of symbolism. Now, any other questions or comments or anything? We're happy to.
While we're here, I want to thank everybody for stopping by today. Happy Sunday. I hope your weekend went well. Ready for a new week. We out here just talking a little bit of knowledge for everybody can give your opinions too. Please speak up. If you have any questions, now's a good time because you just never know. If you just don't ask the question, you just may never get your answer. So if you do not scream, we can't hear you.
Okay, there's a good question. How do you honor new moons? Okay, well, there are several types of S-bats. There's the lunar S. They're called lunar S-bats. Okay, and there's for new and full moon. Full moon is the time of the full waxing of the moon. So it's a time when you want to bring energy, build energy for maximum return, and create the energy thing. New moons are what the waning aspect. The new moon is the waning moon. It's the time to release. It's a time to give back.
Not at all.
It's a time to ask the mother to nurture you. And being that the new moon is in Cancer tomorrow, that's an excellent time because Cancer is a sign of nurturing, the sign of the home and the mother. So it's an excellent time to ask the mother goddesses and represent the mother goddess in the new moon and ask her for her nurturing or blessing and healing when you think. So you can use the new moon for healing, use the new moon for nurturing, use the new moon for learning and understanding.
Thank you, Justine, for being here.
Your inner self and being able to nurture your inner child. It's a good time to be inflective.
For you to be welcome. Good afternoon.
And that's what the new moon's basically for. Time for inflection or introspection.
Bob! Sorry. Bob has a man for my girlfriend. He has a bag for me. That's how we know he was calling. But he's mad.
Oh, geez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please like and
I'm
share.
going to lose my phone in a few seconds, so just bear with me. I'm plugging in now.
Take your time. Welcome for you to be. And hello. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Welcome, everybody. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It's just me and Edward today. Lissa Love was supposed to be here. She's on her property on her way. A lot of traffic. But she's all right. And I'm grateful that she communicates and let us know that everything is all right for her. So she is doing okay. She's just stuck in traffic, last she told me. So we appreciate you too, Tosh. I appreciate everybody here, man. Y'all really, to be honest with you, y'all got to give it to yourselves, man. You know what I mean? Because y'all pulled through. Oop. Everybody, he left. He'll be back. His phone just died. But I really want to thank you all for stopping by, coming here and talking with us, listening to us, learning, because we're also learning from you also. This is, when it comes to life, learning processes, it's not always one grand person teaching everything. Everybody's a student. We all learn from each other. Not one person knows everything about everything. It's impossible. You know what I mean? And yes, we are still learning. I'm still learning a great deal also. Hello, Lilith. Thank you for being here. So, I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to continue on. I know this last few weeks for a lot of folks, magic has been kind of hard on you. Because most of us is happening to us in a process that we never dealt before. And these are the ones new that are coming up right now. I repeat, like I said earlier on this live. With this new magical powers that is going through your lives, please don't think you're going crazy, because you're not. You're not going crazy. You're just misunderstanding the processes that are magic that is happening to you. Now, this awakening could have happened. It can happen to people depending on the age, because it doesn't happen age, gender, size, skin color. It doesn't really give a shit. It's just gonna happen. Magic is like diarrhea. It just happens. Doesn't get you when you think it was gonna get you. Magic will get you. Now, like I said, doesn't matter what age. I know friends that got at the age of 5. I know friends that are getting it just now at 75. So magic doesn't really have a time or place when it's going to show up. It just happens. Okay? So for the ones that are coming up right now, I repeat them. Be serious with this. You're not going crazy. Okay? These are just things that you have to go through magically and spiritually that'll get you to where you need to be later on as a witch, spiritualist, whatever it is you practice in life. But just like Edward said, own your practice. Okay? Don't just call yourself a witch and just go about. That's not a cool thing to do. If you're into the practice, commit yourself to your practice. If you have a special deity, like Edward said, you have many to choose from. You really do. You can either choose them or some occasional, they choose you. And they stick with you. I'll use Lilith as my example. Lilith found me when I was 12. I'll be 50. And she's still with me strong. You know what I mean? And sometimes, for some people that I've encountered in my life, some deities stay with them for a specific time, for a specific reason. Then they have to go and do other things for others. And that's what I'm talking about. As you grow, and that's awesome. Congratulations on that, Robert. We're always learning. Like we said earlier, the ego, you got to push that aside when it comes to you. It's okay that you've accomplished all the stuff that you've accomplished. It's okay. And kudos to you. But be mindful of others. That ego thing is sometimes, hey, okay, he's back. Sometimes that ego thing, my friends, it's a really bad mojo. Okay? Invite him. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can invite him. Yeah. Okay, I did already. He should be coming up soon. There you go. So remember, everybody, that everything in your life does start with you. Your first steps are going to determine a lot where you're going to be later on in life. And remember that your deities are there for a reason. Your ancestors are there for a reason. Your angel guides, your guides, they're all here for their reasons. All you have to do is just believe in them a little bit. You'd be surprised what miracles or what mountains they can help you climb. Okay? Just a little bit of belief. Be surprised. Everything good, Edward?
Very true about that, Velvet. The deities will keep you in check if your egos try to emerge.
Mm-hmm.
They often give us hard lessons about our ego.
Yes, they do. They don't play.
There's nothing wrong with having ego, because ego does give us the ability to learn and move forward and keep motion free.
Mm-hmm.
But keeping that ego in check is the key. Knowing when the I and okay, are deities required for practice? Maybe no. Actually, never having a deity and working in on the liminal plane, you actually are working with the spirit world itself. Deities is basically a connection to a specific type of spirit. Okay, a specific nature of spirit that you wish to emulate, like I said. And you can have various deities that you work with because of that, because there's various different things you wish to emulate.
Mm-hmm.
You can be atheist, polytheist, or monotheist, anything you feel right. Exactly, because with deities, basically, witches and people of the craft all believe in a divine creative force. However, we do not define it, and we do not put finite limits on it, like gender or anything else, because you can't put finite limits on the infinite. That's ego that drops that down.
That is best.
Okay, which actions are involved with ego? Well, your standard life actions in general, Tosh, because, or was it Tosh? Yeah, Tosh. Your actions in life in general are defined by the ego, and that you can use the ego constructively for those actions, like everything from working and everything else, building yourself, your creative forces, moving energy. That's all ego driven. But you have to remember when to put that ego in check when it's too much, when it's over ego. Okay? Always remember to maintain some form of humility.
Yeah.
Okay? Otherwise, you will be tested on that very thing.
Most people don't pass.
I don't know everything. And I'll be the first to say that. And the next thing I'll say is I am always a servant, never the master.
How come,
I
Renee?
serve the deities of my choice. I serve the creation. The day I master creation would be the wrong thing, because the fact is that puts me up there with the creator. I'm a co-creator. Okay?
Thank you. Never.
Means I can create and bend energy according to the will. Right? But the thing about it is, I'm never the creator. The creator is above and beyond me. And that's where you have to make that differentiation. When you find yourself thinking you're the creator, or playing God, if you will,
Do that.
put yourself in check.
Huh?
It's starting to roost, and he was asleep, and now he's up looking.
We got a storm picking up coming up soon.
Because there's always a power higher than you.
Oh yeah.
Not here yet. The wind's picking.
When I took the oath, I took the oath as a servant and teacher. I would teach the ways of the craft to others, and I would serve the God and Goddess in everything I do. Yeah, if you say like nothing can harm me, divine will put you in your place, definitely.
Very fast too. For real.
If, giving gratitude, yes. The fact is, being gracious, giving gratitude.
Being unselfish, being mindful of others and yourself.
Be ever thoughtful, your mind. Be ever mindful of your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, because each is energy manifest. That's something that we can't stress, cannot stress strong enough. You have thoughtfulness and mindfulness. Now, there isn't a read, and it harm you none, do what you will. Right? Now, there's a misunderstanding about that, because no matter what you do, somebody is going to be harmed by it. Okay? The point is, being mindful means of that fact is, if you do not wish harm upon another, or do wish to bend the will of another individual, to act in accordance to what is true, and being true to yourself and true to others in that regard. That's what it boils down to. Are we perfect at it? No. We'll never be. The day you feel you're perfect, I'm perfectly imperfect. That's the only thing I'm perfect with.
That's it. Always stay humble. I agree with that, Tosh. Always stay humble.
I'm one of those type that fully believe in maintaining humility regardless, because I don't look for praise or a thing. I have to be happy with me, who you are. Be happy with yourself.
Remember earlier,
Understand like yourself.
Just before you came back in, I was telling everybody, everything starts with you. You.
And being happy with yourself is the key, and knowing who you are is another key.
Yeah, there's a storm coming. You can see wind picking up already and stuff. Word.
Hi, Earl. Good to see you.
DJ Wood. Hey, welcome, Earl. Okay, so everybody that don't know, just me, Blessed Be, that's my girlfriend, accompanied by Edward South today, talking about life, magic, everything that has to do with it, from manifestation to everything you just can think of. So while we're here, ask questions, the ones you normally just won't ask everybody about magic or what's happening to you magically. This is what we're here for. Oh,
by the way, a little lesson to everybody. don't ever pray for patience. Because if you pray for patience, you will get everything that will test your patience to the utmost, because the goddesses and God do have a sense of humor.
A very an uglier sense of humor than we do. And who was it that asked me? Samantha, no, the tree is still there. We're keeping an eye on this storm that's actually coming as we speak, and I'll show y'all the tree physically. This one right here. Now we're hoping that it goes here and hit on the fence. We're not worrying about the fence. That can always be put back together. You know what I'm saying? What we don't want is for the wind to pick it up and throw it this way, and it hits the house. That's what we're praying for. And I do have a GoFundMe, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to cut this down as fast as we can before either hits us or probably a little bit of the neighbor's house, to be honest with you, because this tree is a Timberland something. And if y'all really look at it, look, it's all the way up there. That's like an easy 200 some odd feet right there going on, nothing but tree. Nothing but tree. So yeah, we're working on that.
Todd, that's funny. You know, needed to call out and work due to patience. Yeah, because you probably prayed for patience and it gave you the worst possible scenario of how to keep it.
Exactly. Patience will come to you naturally when it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you can buy at a store. It's not even something you can summon.
And it's not something you really want to ask for either.
Because it's not for everybody.
Even a serenity prayer, right, does not mention patience. The serenity prayer says, "Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference between the two." And that's a very important thing, folks. Because you look for that, you need that wisdom to know what's the difference. What is in your control and what isn't. You know, what can you control and what can't you control? And when you figure that out, that's when you can release it and let go, because then you know what you can and cannot do.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's going through this allergies. It's getting better. It was a lot worse. Sometimes the eyes will shut, they itch, and I know it's a whole bunch of allergies and stuff. No, the eye is good. There's nothing, it's just tearing. That's basically it. So,
Like they hide all that came in that we missed. Pleasure having you here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. That's what we're here for.
I'm working on a book.
Are there any other topics everybody would like to learn about? Or questions they may have that they haven't, that they're not sure of? I mean,
now's the time to ask your questions if you have any, ladies and gentlemen.
if we can't give you the answer, we can lead you to the right direction.
Exactly.
Which is finding it yourself sometimes. Normally, if I can't answer your question, I'll give you a good question yourself, but you answered it yourself already. You just don't know it.
Pretty much. That's how it usually goes, too. So, everybody, I want to thank everybody for being here. Thanking you for joining us. And thank you for surviving this weekend, with all the heat, water, and uncomfortability that it has brought to you.
Okay, 2 questions out here. What are the best ways to protect your home or wards? All right. Now, the first thing with wards and home protection wards and stuff like that, basically, I use mirrors a lot because I use the principle of mirror. I imagine and visualize a mirror that's reflecting energies off of it, and prevent those energies from entering. Other ways would be salt, sage, smudging.
That's much.
There are several ways of protecting your wards or setting wards.
Like the top of my front door, I have selenite and a stick of cinnamon.
Stones, yes, stones create wards. Selenite creates an energy creates a blocking from electromagnetic forces and energies that are disruptive. Now the other one here, I've been seeing black and white angels. That the black means toxic energy is transmuted to the white. Actually, in the presence of black and white, like your little signal there,
Good one, Velvet.
your symbol there. Okay, Renee, your symbol says it all. It's a balancing of the energies. Actually, what it means. It's not necessarily a toxic energy. Black angels and white angels, if in the association of angelic field, right, are not necessarily a negative thing or a positive thing. It's a balancing of the energies, and it's a balancing of negative and positive forces. So it's not toxic necessarily.
So I'll ask, when do you recommend re-energizing home?
All right. When do you recommend re-energizing home protections? Well, best time I often will say doing it during a full moon, and just basically doing it as an upgrade in the full moon during the full moon, a waxing phase.
Exactly. I like to ward all four corners of my house.
Or if you feel that you've got too much negativity surrounding you and things like that, because your life is just interfering, and you're finding yourself projecting way too much energy, time to balance out, then you could also do a re-energizing for protection at that point. It's based on your own judgment of when you feel it's best needed for you. But full moon is the best time to actually build protective energy and surroundings.
He feels the storm coming.
Yeah, there's many different ways, and spell jars are very, very protective, actually. I've used spell jars frequently, and sometimes they can be good or bad things.
Depending, yeah, I agree. From here, I can see more of the storm.
Now, if your house is built in modern times, you will find that oftentimes it was built where the doors on the side and front. That is going to cause a lot of disruption in the fairy realms, by the way, because fairies like the houses to be built where the front door and back door are parallel from each other. So they have a full passage in and out and through.
Welcome.
And if you live in a hotel, yeah, there's a lot more warding because of the fact that, first of all, you have energies from various different people going in and out. You don't have a grounded or personal space. Yeah, so you have to ward a lot more frequently, Velvet. One thing you don't want to do though is ward your house from negativity.
Nope.
With strong magical symbols, and ward yourself out of it. I did that once. I actually used a sigil on my door to take all negative energy out of my house and not allow it in. Well, I went out with my girlfriend to Walmart, and her kid was acting up. She's being a bitch at that point, and aggravated the hell out of me to no end. Well, wouldn't you know it, I get back to my house, I could not get in my own door. because I'm so full of negative energy, I couldn't get in. She's laughing. She walks right in laughing because she thinks it's funny as hell that I'm like a vampire that's stuck at the threshold of my own house, which is just making me more angry and more negative. Eventually, I had to tell her to take the sigil down so I could get in my house. But then I had to have a sense of humor about it. So there are limits to warding. You have to be careful when you're warding, that you don't ward it against yourself or watch your own energies at that point. You know?
Bob, Bob, Bob. What's up, Bob, Bob, Bob? Yeah, it's coming, Bob. It's coming, Bob. It's coming. He knows the storm is coming. What was it? Tosh, I'm not visiting a goat. He's actually our goat. That's
Hi, Bob.
That's brother Bob. Bob, 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 Bob. Bob, 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 Bob. Bob, Bob, Bob. This is Lilith, aka the Liller and Maniller. She's my familiar. They always got to make an appearance, especially Bob. Bob the man.
But
He knows there's a storm coming. Every time it rumbles in the sky, he runs around and does a little low pitch meh type thing. It's coming, Papi.
there's something like really fun though to do if you want to ward your house from negative energy and you don't want to cause it, keep it for yourself. There's a simple spell I can give y'all. You'll love this. Take a box, put it outside your house, put a slit in it, right? Taped up with a slit in it, and then you put in on the box, place drama here. And even when you're leaving or entering yourself,
Oh, it's
if you
coming.
feel you have drama or anything and you're building up negative energy, drop it in that box.
That's it. I usually tell people to write it down and just burn it.
And you place it outside your door, and it'll keep your house pretty much grounded and even.
Yep. I know. I see the lights flickering here too, and it's not us.
Air up.
The lights are flickering, and it's not us.
You got that storm coming.
Yeah, I got candles. We are ready. And to be honest with you, I hope this goddamn storm just knocks this tree that way. That way. Over there. That way.
I think that's from the new Easy Church.
Well, I mean, we can close the live a bit early if you need to, Ish.
No, I mean, still haven't picked up yet of nothing of that nature. I don't see the. All I hear was rumble in the sky. It's boom, 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 and all
I'm
that
just
good stuff.
saying,
We're
if you need to, we can always close the live early.
mountains in Georgia cover us a bit, so
And that
we're
is
kind
true.
of like
We are lucky because the mountains of Georgia do protect us a little bit.
Oh, you're
It
fine.
does.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We can go
We're
on.
good.
Don't worry about it. We're good. We're
That's
good.
what we're here for.
don't worry.
Hey,
we'll let you
Autumn.
know.
Thank you, Ames. Hummingbird, thank you for being here. Everybody, welcome. God damn it, welcome everybody. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm in the Appalachian Trail, something of that nature. A lot of crazy stuff happening around here at night. In fact, not so long ago, what I thought and confused for... I thought it was a fucking banshee, I swear to God, and it turned out to be a fox. I didn't know foxes can emanate that type of pitch voice.
Oh, yeah, foxes yip or bark.
Man, I was ready to go out there. For real. No screaming like that. We don't hear things like that here. We barely see our neighbors. Shit.
Foxes are awesome, though.
They are. I've seen, so far since I've been here, I've seen two. I saw one dirty one. And the first one I saw was beautiful. I swear to God. It looked like a flame walking into the trees without burning. It's just that beautiful, bro. It was.
Bobcat do sound like women screaming, yes.
That right there could have been that. I don't know. We have a lot of stuff here. This place was the first place I saw my first beaver, the animal. Never seen one before. Never, just in pictures. Just driving down here, I think like 2 years ago, I saw it had a big flat back tail and everything, just like the pictures I grew up watching. Shit. Remember, Puerto Rico, we don't see much of these things. It's different. I'm tired of skunks.
Autumn, I have a funny story regarding a skunk because I was really upset the one day, and the garden goddess really have a sense of humor.
Hmm.
I'm upset, and I said this stinks, and just as I said this stinks, a skunk walked right across in front of me,
That sucks.
which got me laughing immediately. You know, I'm like,
uh, Skunks. Not so long ago when I lived in Pennsylvania, it was
that,
2 in the morning. We didn't know somebody had ran over a skunk in the middle of the street. We had that stench for 2 weeks, yo. The whole street.
mhm.
That's a smell that just they're strong. You got
Ask
them.
and you shall receive, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
Michael, exactly. I said this stinks, and then I end up with a skunk walking across my path.
Got what you asked for.
I'll tell you what's an interesting creature to run into is a badger.
I was just watching a video on badgers. They don't play, dude.
Badgers do not play.
They are savage, bro.
I had one actually put me with a position of a Mexican standoff
Mm-mm.
with a badger on a trail, and I ended up walking through a whole patch of poison ivy just to get around it. Which, lucky for me, I'm not allergic to poison ivy. But possums are actually harmless.
Yes, I like possum. I got a picture with a baby possum.
They're freaky looking, but they're harmless as
They are freaky looking.
actually insects and stuff like that that are bothersome. And other rodents that are bothersome. They're very, very helpful creatures. But the thing about it is, they also are
Nice.
freaky looking.
The opossums are all right. They play dead. They're good at playing dead. I tell you that much. Yes, they are. They're very good.
Raccoons are funny.
Raccoons are true. We just saw one 2 days ago. Chunky boy too. Mm-hmm.
I
Chunky boy.
pissed off a raccoon I actually had. I handed a bar of soap once, of lava soap, and raccoons wash everything before they eat it. That raccoon had the bird bath totally filled with suds, his face covered in suds from the soap, and the look I got
They are smart.
from that raccoon at the end of that was, if looks could kill, I'd be dead like 150,000 times over.
Right. Yeah, they don't play, man. When was it? A few years?
We could talk about animal totems in the next upcoming if you guys want. We'll talk about all sorts of animal totems. That'd be an interesting topic.
When was it? A few years back, I was living in Florida with my cousins, and one night we was working at the Olive Garden, and we just got out of work, and as we were approaching, I guess he saw it before I did because I'm not familiar with Florida like this. He says, "Cuz, stop." I said, "All right." I stopped. I looked around. He goes, "Well," I was asking him, "What is it?" He pointed his flashlight at the tree up top in front of his house. There was at least 25 fucking raccoons up there in a pack. No, I couldn't do that. That's that's too much Animal Discovery Channel for me. Bro.
So yeah, we'll do that. Animal omens and totem animals. Yeah, we'll have that discussion next week. How's that sound, guys?
Definitely, gentlemen.
We'll talk about some of the teachings and everything else they have, because there's a lot of them. So it'll be another 2-hour one, of course. But we'll do that next. We can do that next week. Not a problem.
Not a problem at all. Lissa, I think she's probably still stuck in traffic. She was stuck in traffic when she called me before the live. So I don't know if she's gonna make it or not. Probably make it at the end. Probably won't, but she's okay. She's just stuck in traffic. But she was gonna try to make it on time and join us, but she couldn't. Yes.
We can, whatever topics you guys would like to hear from us, Ish and I are open to it
Yeah.
because there's a lot of things that we've studied over the course. I've studied over the course of 50 years that I can talk about, but a lot of things Ish has studied over the course of his teaching too, and we'll be happy to, you know, have discussions with y'all, learn from y'all as much as you're learning from us. We learn from you.
Exactly. That's the way it should be. And we got but like what, 35, maybe close to 30 minutes left in here. So if y'all have any questions,
35 minutes left.
y'all have any questions about the craft, and just to let y'all know about some things, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because you made it through this week. And I know that sometimes this week, you have always wanted to just say, fuck all this shit and just get the fuck on out. But you didn't. You held on to it because you know you're stronger than that. So salute to yourself and not giving up. Be proud of yourself because you had every opportunity to do so. And life ain't easy right now. And that'll be the easiest choice to make. But you do not make that choice. You keep fighting. This is where I'm getting at with this. Keep fighting. No matter how life gets more difficult for you, get back up and keep swinging. Don't never give up in life. That's just where you at right now. Not giving up. Because I know if you do give up, you actually know what's going to happen. So by not giving up, showing us strength, coming up here with us in live, asking us questions, not just taking answers for us, but just asking us, talking, asking questions, will take you out of a shell you probably has never been broken.
Well, and the years it's never going to be easy because life is not an easy thing to learn, but it's a fun journey to have.
It is.
If you look at life as a journey, an adventure, something fun, even the hard parts become something constructive. They become something fun. They become a learning experience. One of the things that we used to do in the 80s, my generation is the Gen X generation. So we grew up in the 80s, and we grew up in a time when we had no supervision whatsoever. In fact, we supervised ourselves. And every day was an adventure for us.
Every day.
I mean, we use our imaginations because we didn't have. Now, there's a good question. How does narcissism affect wishes? Narcissism affects everybody on the same level. Not just witches, but everybody.
Exactly.
And a person with a narcissistic personality believes that life is about themselves and things have to be all about them. And it's not all about. And just remember, it's not all about you.
It really isn't.
It's all about living. They will test your boundaries. They'll do all sorts of things. They'll find things. But life is a test. It's a fun test, though. Like I said, we have adventure. You can make it adventures, and they're harder to work on people. Yes, they are.
They are. I agree with that.
But rather than try to work on somebody, work on yourself.
Exactly. Forget about all that. What's gonna help you be more stronger than what the nonsense that's trying to distract you from your own path?
One of the things that we know thyself is the first rule of the witch.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing thyself is the key, because once you know yourself, once you become comfortable within your own skin and your own knowledge of you, then you get away from from those people that are toxic because you recognize the toxicity
Heel
and no
velvet.
longer act within it. So you want to make sure that you start working on yourself, like I said. And once you start learning about more about you and become comfortable in your own skin and comfortable with you, everything else becomes secondary to that. You know, you start learning, you can recognize others and you can avoid others that are going to be take you down. You can associate with others that are going to pick you up and move you forward.
Exactly, Colin. Slowing down also helps.
And slowing down, yes. Relax, take it easy. It's not a race.
Dude, there's no rush. You're gonna look 60 by the time you hit fucking 30. There's no rush. There's no rush. She said, "Don't feed the jerks."
We were 30 when we were 6.
No, already with
Indeed.
responsibilities.
In the 80s, we were 30 when we were 6, weren't we?
Already fixing dinners for little brother to get home. Parents weren't home. We were the parent at 6 or 7 years of age.
But a lot of adventure too, because we used our imaginations. We got creative. Our backyards became everything from wrestling rings to football fields,
Gathering, everything.
whatever we decided to create
For real.
at the time. I mean, we were on pirate ships sometimes, all in our backyards even. Our neighborhood became a baseball diamond, whatever we felt like at the time, it became it.
In our block, when I was young, we used to get guys from the other block to play with us, and we used to play hide and go seek from 7 to 12 at night. So that was fun. Those are things you don't see no more because you can't do them things no more.
Well, Red Rover was one of our fun things.
Red Rover, yeah, that's classic. The big wheel, unstoppable. For real, yo. I know most of us had a fucking big wheel one time in our life, at least. At least.
Yeah, and like I said, the older we catching lightning bugs, yeah, and making fairy lamps. That was always fun. That was a great time doing that.
Sometimes just staying after school and just sitting in the front of your house and looking at the sunset, just chilling, saying nothing. Those were good days also.
But we also knew when to come back in too. When that street light came on
You
and you heard that whistle, that known whistle from that particular mom whistle that you knew was your mom calling, you knew to get your ass back in the house.
Exactly. We already knew.
But things are missing in today, and that's what one of the things missing: imagination.
Exactly. And Tosh, the big wheel situation, that only happened here in the States. When I was growing up in Puerto Rico, we didn't have pavements either. Our milkmen were still delivering shit in bottles individually. We didn't have a mailman either. We had to go down to town to our post office to get our stuff. Things were different.
Building tree forts, building ice castles and ice forts as well. I mean, we had those type of fun too.
But the imagination then was not like the imagination these kids have now. Got it. They don't. We
Well,
had it.
our Google was the card catalog in the library. That was our Google.
Yep. Go into the library, open up dictionaries, some encyclopedias, and start writing down.
And the card catalog. Start going to the card catalog, and then working with the Dewey Decimal System.
The thing is, you got your hands dirty. You did it with your own hands. You didn't have access, we didn't have this internet thing when we were growing up and doing our shit in high school. In the mid-90s, we didn't have it. Internet was here, but we couldn't afford it because it was that much money. So we had to do the most logical thing, which is reading and writing. That's the best way to keep research anyway. And you keep notes and all that good stuff.
Using your mind. which makes our magic that much stronger because you do use your mind
Mm.
and your imagination.
I remember the pagers too. I remember the pagers. Oh shit! YMCA was a big part of my community when I was growing up. That's true.
Yeah, alchemy through trial and error.
And
And
I'm
that's the
pretty
actual root foundation of alchemy to begin with, Michael,
Yeah.
is trial and error.
That's how we learn. And I'm pretty sure growing up, everyone had a crazy person in their block in the crazy house. We always ran by their house for some reason. We did. For real. Yeah, things were different, bro. The internet wasn't affordable for everybody. I'm sorry.
Well, I was doing internet before the internet existed. I was a BBS operator.
See?
I operated bulletin board systems. Fact is, I was a PaganNet founder and a FidoNet operator for years.
Shit.
And if those of you who all remember AOL's Pagan Tea House and Yahoo Group Pagan Tea House and the Delphi and Globe Pagan Tea House,
Mm.
I'm the one who founded that.
Shit.
I was teaching online before, well, just as the internet really had its beginning.
Wish you could find those videos.
I can the dial-up internet sound, wasn't that
Oh
awesome?
my god, I remember that shit too. We just put that in my brain. For real. Oh. Burger time with Duck Hunt? Yes, Ames.
The X
Yeah.
modem sound, yep. The X and Y modem protocol sounds.
You knew you was getting somewhere in time. That shit right there was something else, man. I remember when fucking McDonald's apple pies was just 50 cents.
Yep. Fun times though. We had, and everything we earned, we appreciated because we worked it with our own hands to get it. You know, today we come from a society today where everything's handed to people, and unfortunately, that everything handed to you thing is not suitable for thinking because people don't appreciate things anymore. They don't appreciate that it takes a bit of hard work and creativity to do things. You know, I mean, we were working when we were 8 years old. We had paper routes, mowed lawns, washed cars, had the whole lemonade stands. You know, anything we could think of to make a little bit of money.
Exactly.
And when we made that little bit of money, we go to the penny candy store with that $5 we made, and oh my God, that penny candy store was awesome.
It's probably why most of us are diabetic now. Come on now. But those were the days, man. Going after school, saving up that same money you had made doing the doings, and going
Rent
to
out
the
your comic books, right?
Exactly, comics and all that kind of stuff. Basketball trading cards from back in the day. Remember the muscle little action figures?
Yep.
With garbage pail kid stickers.
Yeah, the Garbage Pail Kids, yep.
All that good stuff. When you had to put a pencil in a fucking cassette to rewind a specific song you want to hear because you had to do that. You know,
Oh, and when our tape deck ate that cassette, we knew how to splice and actually put it back together
without instructions, we already knew.
without missing a beat on the song. It was like we could see the magnetic waves on that tape and know exactly where that song would clip.
Exactly. Like things were different for us. We had a different. It was like a different type of knowledge that was already embedded in us. That was just stuck in it. You know, it made us know things at a young age, understand a few things.
Just a little Scotch tape, right? And mixtapes. Oh my God, they were awesome. You play it on the radio. You sit there. You're holding your finger on the record button. You got on the pause button to hit the pause off. You got the
Exactly.
record going while you're listening to the radio and
Yes.
hoping that you catch it just right to get the right song on. And then you're calling the radio to request your song that you want.
Next thing you know, you hear it. You and your boys jumping like crazy in your goddamn room. Mm. Yeah.
Reel to reel players. I remember those too.
I remember all that, man. Those were
And
good
8
times.
tracks and yeah, we had to get creative. We had to do things.
We had to, yeah. Things are very different for us. Parents screaming while you were doing it, exactly. Hey, you do your homework. Almost there, Ma. Hey, you nowhere near started that damn homework. You know better. Those were good times.
But
Where a
we
nice bowl
look
of
back at those
cereal.
times. We look back at those times, and they are good old days because they were days where our creativity was at its height. We learned to become. We learned to have more acceptance of things
Yeah.
and learn to, cooperate and play more with each other and ourselves, and being more personable. We had friends that, we'd go to our friends' houses, hitchhike our way down to our friend's house if we could,
Mm-hmm. And we could stay there for hours. Hours. Come back home at night. Here's your son. Take him.
cruising around the circles. Yep.
Yeah.
Hanging out in the malls and the penny arcades and stuff like that.
Gathering a whole
freedom.
bunch of family members in station wagons, and we'd be in the back of the station wagons where we're gonna go camping for a fucking weekend or something. See, we don't see that no more either.
So hold on to those memories because those memories are what built you into what you are today. And if you hold on to those memories and you work those memories back, you can recognize how to have fun and grab that inner child within. Every time I discuss it, me and Ish have talked about the old days, right? We laugh, we cry, we have fun because of the fact that it reminds us of when we were free. And when we were able to think for ourselves and be free again.
Exactly. Those were different days, man. Growing up was actually fun. You had to be weary, of course, of life, but it was fun. It was different. Neighbors always looking out for you. Sorry.
Your neighbors looked out for you looked out for each other, your neighbors looked out for you, and
Exactly.
everybody had a good time.
Imagination is a very good friend.
We didn't fight. If there was a fight, it was a one-on-one.
2 minutes.
Everybody would surround to make sure no one jumped in.
That's it.
But the person who jumped in would get their ass beat because it wasn't their business to be in it in the first place. But it'd be a one-on-one. And the first person down, the other one would reach their hand out, pick them up, and then go out and go find a party somewhere and get drunk, have fun. It's all forgiven and it's all over and done with.
Then you tell you what fight. Then you just continue on with life. Remember, life has taught me that some of the best fights, or let me say it right, some of the people that you may encounter may be something bad to you. Little did you know, when everything is said and done, this person could be a good friend to you later on in life.
Some of my best friendships start off with a fight.
Yeah. It starts off with a fight, argument, disagreement, not liking each other. That's the beginning stages of a good friendship right there without y'all knowing.
At least back in our days.
Yeah. Now it's different, man. You can't do that shit no more. You can't. Things are very different right now. Things are
Bonfires and beer parties, yep.
Yes. Those were good things to do. And basketball at night for no reason.
Of course, it's a wonder we survived the 80s, too, with some of the things we did.
Yeah, we
because some
did.
of the things we did in the 80s,
You do that shit now, we won't be
because of
making
child abuse today.
For real. I said.
I mean, we had things like, for example, our playgrounds. We didn't have plastic slides or plastic
Metal.
monkey
That
bars.
shit damn near peel your skin going down.
Exactly. In the summertime, you're burning all the way down that. But what you do, you land on a damn, you go down that slide anyway, ass on fire,
Yup.
100%.
Caps burning. You still go through it. I'm saying though, there's nothing stopping us. There wasn't nothing stopping the '80s kids. I'm sorry, there wasn't no stopping.
Land on that Mercatum and turn around, pick yourself back up after you, all the merry-go-rounds, yes.
And you try it again. Rinse and repeat.
Fishtailing, all the things we used to do. It's a wonder we survived our childhoods, but we had a great time doing it.
We didn't have professional ramps to do our biking tricks. No, we had to put some little bricks on little makeshift wood. Hopefully, pray to God that shit does not fucking break. And it did
And we
most of the
played
time.
Evil Knievel quite bit.
Oh.
Grass stains on our asses, yep.
For real.
If you got a scratch or
Yo.
a cut, you put mud on it. What the hell?
And I can guarantee most of us still have some of those fucking scars from childhood, okay?
Right?
Oh shit. Yeah, those were good days, bro. When you knew you were coming home, dinner was done, things were different because even Christmas felt different, Halloween felt different. Everything just felt more alive back in them days.
We felt more alive. We weren't stuck.
No, we were not. Those were. Yeah, I'm praying over here. We're getting rain, but I don't see wind. I don't care about rain. We can use the rain. It's the windy part that starts getting me right there.
Oh, we built a dam one time that actually flooded out a whole small town. Right? And they blamed it on the beavers.
For real.
We built a dam in the creek and flooded the whole town by accident.
No. Boom Farms, at the lake, Velvet. Yeah, those were telling. And he said, like Edward said earlier, keep those memories. It's part of who we were. You know what I'm saying?
And have fun with those memories. Like, we're having a great time talking about them because they're good memories. Sometimes they weren't so good, but you know what? They made us who we are, and they were fun.
Exactly.
It was a time of freedom.
We survived it. Things were different, man.
Definitely, Michael. Honor, integrity, and mutual respect.
Yes.
100%.
Thank you, Michael.
Mad Dog, Path Blue, PBR. Yep.
We knew common respect for folks. We knew what to say, what not to say in front of grown folks.
Very respectful of grown folk.
Huh? Oh, Bob? Okay. I guess the Thunder Freak spooked
Well,
Bob.
we have 12 minutes left.
We do.
And I really need to get a coffee.
Come on, Bob.
So I'm actually gonna leave, guys,
Come on, Bob.
because I need some coffee desperately.
Okay, I'll continue here these 10 minutes. No problem.
It's been great being here with all y'all, and appreciate you. And everybody have a good time. Enjoy things. Enjoy your day. And I will see you all next weekend.
Edward, thank you for stopping by, Edward. I'll give you a call later on.
All right, later.
All right. Peace, brother.
I gotta figure out how to get out of here.
It's usually, I think, it usually says leave or something like that. Stop up there. So this is, like I showed you earlier, give it a chance. All right. This is Bob. He's Bob the Friendly Goat. I try to sing the Spider-Man song, adding the goat word to it. Spider goat does whatever a spider goat does. He's a good goat. He's a magical goat. Bob's the man. He is. I know, Papi. And if it was up to him, if it was up to Bob, he would gladly come into the house. We do let him into the house to venture off. He's here. He's inside. He ventures off outside. The backyard is totally his completely. While I'm here, I can give y'all some palm reading cards. Okay, because we still got like 10 minutes. Thank you, Tosh. Thank you. That's my boy. No, well, we can't do nothing about that. The storm is coming. Not much we can do about it. So, when was it? Friday? I left off on card number 45. We were talking about the affection lines, the broken or chained lines. So, we're talking about this right here. The card before this had these three lines, but solid. These have little intricacies. See how they're cut? This card's going to tell you that specific meaning and why. These are small horizontal lines located at the edge of the palm. When chained or broken, like you see here, you are cautious about love and critical towards yourself. So be easy on yourself. Take a screenshot of it. And we are talking about these three lines right here underneath your pinky, okay? If they're going to go sideways like this, and this is what we call broken, okay? Because they are not solid. So if you want to take a screenshot of it, please do. Thank you all. And if I don't take the deck out of here, then it'll never come out. There we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second. Get these cards right. 44, 45. All right, I'm getting it. Number 46. Now we're going to be talking about the sun line. The sun line is this little line you see right here. That's underneath, between the middle and between your pinky. That line right there. So it would be somewhere around this area. If you have it, it's a straight line, okay? That's what we're talking about. Not the big one. We're not talking about this big one. We're talking about this one here, okay? Says here, this line runs parallel to the destiny in part. It finishes close to the mouth of the Apollo. The sun line indicates confidence. You are easy to get along with and have potential for success. All right. So remember, and one thing I want to make clear, most of these lines, not most of us or all of us will have them. It indicates that very clear in the beginning of these cards. Welcome, Jay. Thank you. So we're talking about this, okay? Take a screenshot of it if you like. Now, the next one, we're going to be talking about worry lines. Like when you worry about something, this is called the worry lines. Now, the worry lines are going to be inside the line of your thumb. If you open your thumb and you see a whole bunch of crazy stuff going in there, going in and out, left, right, up and down, that's what this is. That's the worry line. Okay? It says here, excuse me. These fine lines are common and most are unimportant. If these cross the lifeline, they could have a negative effect on your health. You could try meditation or self-hypnosis. Okay? We're talking about all this nonsense that's going on in there, all the lines and everything in intricate ways. So if you want to take a screenshot of it, please do. Thank you, Lilith. I'll speak to you later. I'll call you before you go to bed. Thank you for stopping by, Lilith. Card number 48. We're going to be talking about the Ring of Saturn. The Ring of Saturn. The Ring of Saturn is this little small thing right there. Not the big one, not the smaller ones. The one in the bottom. They don't cross. But in here, they unite. They don't cross. And you're right, they don't cross. They either are stuck together or they are separate. But they do not cross. They don't do that. This is the Ring of Solomon. This is a semicircular line that surrounds the Mount of Jupiter. It indicates a interest in psychic subjects and the intuitive of needs of others. Okay, if you want to take a screenshot of it, we are talking about this line right here. Okay. I would like to. Okay. Whatever messages y'all have to me, y'all need me for whatever reason, just message me after I'm done here. I got like 5 more minutes. We're working on this one on this. This is the line, the ring of Saturn. Sorry, the ring of Saturn, right here. See that right there underneath your middle finger? That's the ring of Saturn. Okay. I will. It's the Masaki. I want to get it right. It says this is a semicircular line that surrounds the mount of Saturn beneath the second finger. It can have a negative indication, making it difficult for you to achieve your goals. Okay. Again, we're talking about this line right here. It's right underneath your middle finger. All right. Thank you. The next one is the Semian crease. The Semian crease. This is when the heart and the headline becomes one. Okay. Not everybody's gonna have this one. Okay. Not everybody's gonna have this one. This line right here. Okay. We're gonna talk about that right now. This is created when the heart and the headline becomes one single line. Okay. Therefore, your logic and emotions become intertwined. This indicates you have complex emotional life. Okay. If y'all want to take a screenshot of the card, you can to get an understanding where we are talking about this line right there. Okay. 4 more minutes. Now we're going to talk about finger sizes. All right, card number 51. We're going in order. These are for people who have very short fingers. So if you have very short fingers, your key traits are you're daring and competitive. You're adventurous spirit. You are enthusiastic. You aggressive and feisty, upfront and mannered, and you are successful. So if you have very short fingers, these are your key traits. Take a screenshot of it if you like. Please do. Thank you, Josh. Now, these are the people who have short fingers. First one was very short. These are short fingers, okay? Take a screenshot of it before I go to it, and then I'll give you one at the end before I'm done. It says here, it's hard. It's hard, but I'm going to get to it once I'm done here. One of the good things you did here, sister, is coming to us. Keeping this to yourself is never a good thing. So reaching out to us here is actually a blessing. So thank you. Okay. Card number 52. People with short fingers. Okay. Your key traits are you are a quick decision maker. You are abrupt and careless. You overlook details. You understand the bigger picture. You're pioneering and you achieve your goals quickly. Okay. People with short fingers. This is your key traits. Take a screenshot of it. Okay. Yeah, I got 2 minutes. People with long fingers. Key traits. You fuss over the small details. Planning and analyzing. You're unafraid of compromise. You're affectionate. You're empathic and you're understanding. So if you have long fingers, these are your key traits. Those are all good things right there. All right. Everybody's different. Everybody isn't particularly different. We're all unique. Okay. Card number 54. Finger shape, thin. If you have thin fingers, this one's for you. Card 54. Thin finger means you think before acting. You make a factual judgment without being overly influenced by your emotions. Okay? Yes, Tosh got long fingers. All right. So take a screenshot of it. And I have 1 minute here with y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a true honor being here with y'all. I'm always having fun with y'all. Because not only I get y'all the opportunity to learn something from me, I learn from you too. And I'm very grateful for y'all for being just who you are. You matter in this world. And I can guarantee most of us ain't hear this word today, and I'll say it for you. I love you. Doesn't matter if we're family or not. Love shouldn't be besides nothing. Love is just a love. That's it.
So for most of y'all in here who hasn't heard it today, I love you. You matter. I give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? And all I want from you in return is to be yourself. Be a better version of you than you were today. Tomorrow. And then knowing that tomorrow is going to be another day, yo. All right? So I want to thank you all for being you. I want to salute you for being you. Because day in and day out, you deal with shit that the normal person just couldn't deal with. And you always come out on top. Some of the best strength you have is when you think you don't have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's you right there. That's why I have total faith in you. So be mindful of each other. Be kind to each other. And prepare yourself for this new week that's coming up. All right, y'all? So thank you. Thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. Tosh, thank you, everybody. Annabelle, thank you, everybody. Shout out to all of y'all. Peace.